Okay, guys, this is the correction from week 5. The sentence says, "Oh, my sweet Lysander, woe is I." Okay, you should automatically do a couple things. One, you should automatically indent. The last one was Lysander talking. This is, I believe, Hermia talking. And so that means it's a new person talking. Whenever a new person is talking, it's a new paragraph. So we have to indent. Somebody's talking, so we also need to put quotation marks. It is the beginning of a sentence. We capitalize the O. So O is a expression. And because of that, it's not something necessary to the sentence. So it's just kind of added on. So that means we need to have a comma after it. So, "Oh, my sweet Lysander, woe is I." Obviously, hopefully you should have gotten that. That is incorrect grammar. It is woe is me. So, another thing, me and you cannot marry. That's incorrect grammar as well. So it's not me and you. It is you and I. You and I cannot marry. That is it for that sentence. Next sentence, capitalize the my. It says, "My strict father will not allow it, comma. And I do not love Demetrius." Capitalize the I's, obviously. Capitalize Demetrius. Next sentence, capitalize the I. "I am in the same position as Juliet." Capitalize J and Juliet. Now, hopefully you caught that reference to Romeo and Juliet. So there's a comma and a quotation mark because the next part is Hermia said. Because whenever we have the dialogue is paused to explain who said what, we need to have the who said not in the quote, only what the words that they said were in the quote. So, another thing to note, this quotation mark is in the middle of a sentence. Which means whenever you have a quotation in the middle of a sentence, you always need a comma before the quotation mark. Okay? Hermia is capitalized. It's her name. So Hermia said, comma. The reason why we have a comma there is because it's not just Hermia said, they added on to it. Whenever you add on stuff, you need those commas. Again, referring to the classic tale, comma, because we paused to explain what that classic tale was. And because this is a play, Romeo and Juliet, it is a written work. Like any other play, it needs to be in quotation marks. Now, this is not the same quotation marks as, or rather, it is in quotation marks, just like the dialogue. But Romeo and Juliet is not something Hermia says in this part of the sentence. It is the narrator explaining what Hermia is thinking. Romeo and Juliet is capitalized, obviously, but it is only in quotes because it's a written work of literature. It is a play. So then Juliet continues on. So you need that space and new quotation marks. Notice they start going the other direction. "I shall have to marry someone I do not love, or spend the rest of my life in a convent." That sentence looks good. A convent is a place where you would go. It's basically It is where nuns are. Nuns are devoted to only the church, and they don't marry, they just serve God in a convent. Okay? And they become nuns. Okay, going on. So I shall marry someone I do not love or spend the rest of my life in a convent. If only, capitalize, if only I was a boy, she uttered with a sigh. So she finishes talking. There's a comma, quotation mark. Once again, whenever there's quotes in the middle of a sentence, there's always a comma before the quotes. And then there is a period at the end. That is it for this one. The quotes start, I shall have to marry someone I do not love or spend the rest of my life in a convent. If only I was a boy, was the second set of quotes. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.